Ottawa game. Back to punt for Toronto. Wayne McGarity, the threat for the Stampeders, stands at his own 30. Prefontaine hits another line drive straight up the hash marks. McGarity at his own 29. A quick move. He gets past Hardy. Clothesline by Mike O'Shea on the way down. It's a 55-yard punt and just a 12-yard return as Kevin Federick gets set to go again. The young man trying to build some timing with his receivers. A southpaw this week. It was a right-handed thrower in Marcus Crandall 1 week ago, as we asked him what it's like to get on the same page with his receivers.
Timing with your snap count, the lineman here in your count. It's obviously mine might be a little different than Marcus's snap count. So all those things factor in, and it might seem the little things, but they do really factor into a ball game.
Stampeders, McCullough on the ground, off tackle right. He breaks a couple of tackles and he'll have 7 yards on the gain. Another XFL cast off from the extreme, joining Jim Barker's offense here in Calgary.
Nice second effort by McCullough on that play. Really looked like it was going to be about a 0-yard gain or maybe even a loss, but he fought for 8-9 yards on that one, puts him in good position for second down.
2nd and 2. Stampeders with their best field position of the afternoon. Their own 48-yard line. McCullough, the lone man in the backfield for Calgary. He'll get the handoff again, cutting against the grain. He'll have the first down and more as he's brought down at the center field stripe. Antonius Bonner in to make contact for the Argos.
They thought they could run the ball against Toronto, and you see the big guys up front doing a good job. This series, they're looking good, like they can dominate Toronto up front. And that's what Coach Barker had said yesterday. He thought they could handle them up front.
Oh, McCullough already in just the first quarter has more yards rushing than he did last week in the entire game against Montreal. 4 for 18 yards. First down, Calgary. Here comes the blitz. Play action. Federick gets the ball away to Regimbald. The big man puts his head down and is finally knocked down by Kevin Scott, the 34-year-old rookie from the National Football League.
Well, I don't know if they lucked into this play call or they checked into it, but it had it coming off the weak side, and they had the perfect flat call for a hot route. The halfback from the weak side was blitzing, and they picked up a nice gain. I think they lucked into it, though, as opposed to checking into it.
So the Stampeders employing their running backs early in this football game. The vaunted receiving attack yet to materialize. This is the 5th play of this Calgary drive, and another first down for young Kevin Federick. Federick fakes this time. Naked bootleg. Here comes O'Shea. The pass is away. It's complete. Wayne McGarity tries to tiptoe down the sidelines, and he's finally out at the 19, maybe the 18-yard line of Toronto. Tremendous play action there by Federick.
I think the play calling has been tremendous offensively for Calgary so far. They get Federick on the move. Again, I said teams like to pick on Ivory, and that's why he's been making so many plays, but he got turned around by McGarity right there.
Well, Jim Barker said he was going to go to Kevin Federick's strengths in this football game with a game plan, and he is an offensive mind who has shaped the likes of Anthony Calvillo 1 year ago to his best season in the Canadian Football League. So they're in the red zone, the Stampeders. It's been an area where they failed to score in the past. More play action, another naked bootleg. The ball's away. Don Blair across the 15 is hammered from behind. He'll be close to the 10-yard line. Michael Fletcher making the tackle for the Argonauts.
They come back to the same play fake they did the last play for the big pass to McGarity, and it's something that can keep Federick, they keep the defensive ends staying in their place, and then have to respect Federick with the run. I think it's great because it gets him on the move, and I think he's more comfortable on the move.
Federick building a very nice drive here. Second down and 3 yards to go at the 11-yard line of Toronto. Here comes the blitz again. Federick calmly throwing it up for grabs in the end zone. It's complete. Touchdown. Darnell McDonald with his first CFL touchdown.
Again, a great play call by Barker. Puts all the receivers to the right, except for McDonald. You isolate McDonald one-on-one with the weak side corner. Throw the ball up, let him make a play again. We touched on it pregame. This guy can use his body, and he has the ability to make the tough catch. Huge play.
You're right. He's a big man with a big reach. We saw it last week against Montreal as He won all the battles with Omar Evans on the corner. And that's got to build the confidence of Kevin Federick, who calmly stood in and led that drive, culminating with the short pass, 11 yards for a touchdown to McDonald. The point after is good. Jim Barker and the Calgary Stampeders have taken the lead at home at McMahon.
Love you, Mom.
Darnell McDonald coming off his most prolific game 1 week ago with 11 catches, gets his first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, Federick recognizes Fletcher coming off the edge quickly, calmly releases it, knows he has McDonald one-on-one against Kevin Scott. Great throw, great catch. You can see him celebrate. I bet he's happy.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure in this town because his father owns the football team, and he's trying to prove himself as a legitimate starter in the Canadian Football League, and he showed a lot of moxie there, standing up against the blitz as Livingston gets over a heaping pile and is brought down on a 22-yard return after a 57-yard kickoff. The scoring drive for Federick and the Stampeders, 6 plays over 69 yards.
He's really shown his patience on this drive. A great play calling, as I mentioned before. That was the one big play, but besides that, the little dump offs and of course the touchdown pass to McDonald. That's what I meant when I said he had to be patient and just get the ball in the hands that can make the plays for you.
The receiving corps saying it takes a while to get used to a new quarterback, especially a southpaw, when you're used to a player like Marcus Crandall, who throws right-handed and usually takes more time in the pocket. Here's pressure now on Damon Allen on first down. Rolling to his right. He throws across his body to Mike Morielli for a big first down at center field. Jason Bray makes the tackle for the Stampeders as the veteran and one of your former teammates comes up big on a scramble.
Well, here you see Damon doing what he does best. He buys himself some time, scrambles out of the pocket. That's what he's known for, is his elusiveness. And Mike Morielli, interestingly, he's dropped 20 pounds this year, and he's a much better threat as a lighter receiver than really bulking up.
The gain is 16 on the play. First down, here's the pitch. Around the outside, John Humphrey. Little Marshall Falk, his teammates call him. Hasn't much to go there as he dives across the center field stripe. George White makes the tackle on a 1-yard gain. Changed his number from 23 in the preseason to 28, just like Marshall Falk, at the advice of his teammates.
Yeah, that's pretty tough shoes to fill, Marshall Falk, but we'll go with it. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now.
Pinball Clemens waiting for news this weekend on the health of the veteran Michael Jenkins, as his ankle injury continues to be a problem. Back to pass, Damon Allen, lots of time, gets it away across the middle. It's complete to Lyle Knight. Lyle Knight in a foot race with George White, and he's finally forced out of bounds at the 36-yard line. He had 2 big touchdown catches for Marcus Brady last week against Winnipeg.
This is a great football play right here. So I hope we get a peek of the replay here, but it's your basic rub route. Mike Morielli is going to come from the weak side, rub the guy. They're in man-to-man coverage, as you see, you get rubbed right there. And when you can catch him in man, these plays are very effective. Get it in the ball, get the ball in the hands of the guy that can make the play.
Lyle Knight, the sophomore out of UCLA, just played 2 games last year with the Argos. Last week, 4 catches for 177 yards. Big play material for the Argos, who are still missing 4 veteran receivers. Allen looking deep for Humphrey. Oh, it goes through his hands in the end zone. Otis Floyd, the linebacker, step for step with the running back, and that ball was on the money, Darren.
It was on the money. I think our questions about Damon's health and how his hand feels early in the football game are being answered. He threw this ball right on the money, and they have a nice matchup here with a speedy running back against a linebacker. And when you get that matchup man on man, you got to take that shot. There's no question. Great throw, maybe a catchable ball. He wish he had that one back.
Floyd looked like he may have got his hand in there at the last minute. 2nd down and 10, Argos. Allen straight back to pass, 4-man rush across the middle. It's complete to Lyle Knight again. He puts his head down, lots of real estate, and another Toronto first down on a 15-yard pickup as Damon Allen begins to work the big slot back.
Damon really looks like he's settled down, and again with these underneath routes, they seem to think there's some space underneath the Calgary defense, and just gets enough for the first down. And it's a great drive for Damon, really get him going.
Well, the Jim Daly defense doesn't play a lot of man. They force teams to put long drives together. Only have 3 interceptions so far this season, and right now Damon Allen has the Argos marching. Back to pass on first down to the end zone again to Humphrey, searching over both shoulders. It's too far. Alondra Johnson, the middle linebacker, in coverage there on John Humphrey. So twice they go to the diminutive running back with nothing to show in the end zone. At the end of the first quarter, the Stampeders have a 4-point lead over the Argos as Darnell McDonald hits the end zone for the first time. Threatening skies moving into the foothills area. Thunder and lightning already reported as this near capacity crowd celebrates a terrific first quarter of football. The home team leading Toronto 7-3. The Argos, though, threatening here. 2nd and 10 on the Calgary 21 as we check the first quarter numbers, and clearly the passing numbers stand out, Darren.
Well, Bishop's big play to Livingston makes up a lot of that yardage for the Argos, but impressive with the yards passing for the Stampeders. Frederick put together a nice drive, 57 yards. You do that in the course of a game, you're going to be over 200 yards.
Shotgun formation, 2nd and 10. Allen, empty backfield, 6 receivers set. Here comes the blitz. Allen stepping up, throwing for Morielli. The end zone, touchdown, Argos. Mike Morielli in behind William Fields for his 2nd touchdown of the season.
Again, Damon recognizing cover 0, as we mentioned earlier, meaning no free safety, so they're one-on-one. Damon has the time to throw. And this is what I'm talking about, Mike Morielli losing 20 pounds. He's got that step back. He looks like 1999 most outstanding Canadian football player again. It's great to see Mike run routes like that again.
Yeah, he looked awfully quick there, putting the move on Fields and getting deep into the end zone. The point after from Prefontaine is good, and the Argos retake the lead on that drive led by Damon Allen. It's 10-7 Toronto early in the second quarter.
The CFL on CBC, brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the CFL. Wendy's, it's better here.
Welcome to the jungle.
It's gonna be wild.
Gotta get a ticket.
It's open season for Canadian football in Hamilton. We've got the players. 15 free agents are back with the Cats.
You gotta get a ticket.
We've got the leadership. Now all we need is you.
Gotta get a ticket.
Buy your Cat season tickets now and save even more with a PST rebate. It's like getting 4 games for free. Just ask us how. Tickets available at the Roar stores. By phone or online. Don't miss 1 second of the flame-making, stadium-quaking, record-breaking action of Cat football.
A trim Mike Morielli with his 2nd touchdown catch of the season, doubling his entire production of 1 year ago. As you mentioned, Darren, 20 pounds lighter, and he looked awfully swift there on the connection with the veteran Damon Allen. Rochelle and McDonald back to return this kickoff from Prefontaine, and one hopper. It's Darnell McDonald straight up the hash marks, gets outside a block in a big seam, makes another move inside, still going, and finally dropped. Kevin Scott and Mike Crum in on the tackle. A 61-yard kickoff and a 34-yard return as we revisit the scoring play on that 7-play scoring drive for Toronto.
Well, this will give you a great look at cover 0. Here's where a free safety usually is. Damon recognizes it. Now the receivers recognize it. They got one-on-one coverage everywhere. And now you got Mike Morielli just running right past his cover guy. That's pretty impressive. You know, some people say Mike Millar because he's married to Joanne Millar, but he's back to Morielli with that play.
Problems with the snap. Frederick back to pass, heaving deep downfield, looking for Albert Connell into double coverage, and it's incomplete. Wheaton and Scott back to break that up. 2 newcomers this season in the Argo secondary. Connell, who's known for his tough blocking, couldn't get underneath. There's the snap problem as Frederick appeared to pull out from behind Jimmy Crysdale a little early.
Interesting too, being a lefty, having to do the play fake to the right, then totally turn around. You have no look at the secondary because you had to totally turn around and put your back to the secondary. That's a tough position to put that quarterback in.
Frederick with good passing numbers, 5 of 7 so far. Remember, he had 72% completion average 1 week ago against Montreal. The rain begins to come down at McMahon Stadium. Here's the screen pass. McCullough juking his way but won't fool the veteran. Mike O'Shea makes the tackle. The number 2 leader in tackles on this Toronto defense. We talked about him being rejuvenated this year too.
Yeah, Mike's healthy for a change. It's a good play call with the screen. He gets one-on-one with his big back in the open field, but Mike just makes a great tackle and keeps him from gaining the first down.
Again, more pressure in the face of Federic as the Argos look to get a hit on the quarterback at every turn.
Well, you expect that with the screen pass, though, because the linemen are holding their guys for a little bit and then releasing them to get downfield. So he's going to get hit on that one. He's got to expect it.
We'll see what Federic does for an encore now as Damon Allen answered him with a touchdown.
Heads up, heads up.
Having to give up the punt here, O'Mani angling it out of bounds and away from the lethal Bashir Livingston. So the Argos with tough field position inside their own 25 as Damon Allen goes back to work to the 36-yard punt. And with every year, he continues to threaten more all-time records. Here he is here, just 9 away from Ron Lancaster's all-time mark for touchdown passes. He came into this game, Darren, just 362 yards shy of 60,000, which would put him in elite company with Dan Marino and Warren Moon.
Pretty amazing numbers. And as he mentioned yesterday, it's amazing that people still consider him the key to the game at his age.
60,000 yards is 55 kilometers. That's almost the distance from Toronto to Hamilton. There's a fumble. The Stampeders have it. It's Willie Fells still turning, breaking tackles at every turn, and finally hogtied by Fugel, the offensive tackle. Bulls, though, put the ball on the turf, and a huge turnover deep in Argo territory.
We'll have to take a look at this one, too. It could be another situation with the hand because the hand's going to get hit on a handoff. I don't know if there's trouble with the handoff because of his hand. And look at Willie Fells. I think he's wrong way Marshall here. I thought he was going to come down the other way. He ends up gaining a few yards back, though.
Fends off Morelli, another tackle by Lal Knight. It was a fake and then a handoff, a fake pitch, and the handoff didn't quite get to the fullback.
Yeah, it didn't really look like a situation with his hand. It was more timing.
Now McGarity and the rest of this receiving corps are set to try to take advantage of the turnover. They go on the ground first. McCullough off tackle left, straight arming, makes his way across the 20 to about the 19-yard line, and a 5-yard pickup before he's pushed out of bounds. But Willie Fells with a timely fumble recovery for this Stampeder defense, his first of the season.
Yeah, we had mentioned Toronto had been staying away from the turnovers offensively, especially interceptions, but that's a huge turnover in their own end, which should at least amount to a field goal for the Stampeders.
Lightning cracking high over McMahon Stadium, drawing some reaction from the crowd here. It is 2nd down and 5, a 6-receiver set for the Stampeders. Federic throwing across to the hash marks. It's complete. Wayne McGarity turns upfield for the first down across the 10-yard line of Toronto. McGarity, who was a threat, now there's some pushing and shoving and some bad blood as Fletcher and McGarity exchange some straight arms after that connection. McGarity had 7 catches for 97 yards last week against Montreal. He comes into the game the touchdown leader for the Stampeders with 5.
Well, this is great because it's an arrogant group of receivers for Calgary. As you see, he's wide open on this play, but it's a similar arrogant group of defensive backs for Toronto. So of course there's going to be some tension. Starts with Albert Connell trying to get a late block on Mike O'Shea there. Love to see the excitement, though.
Well, these 3 newcomers, McGarity, Connell, and McDonald, have quickly etched their names into the memory of a lot of DBs in this league. And Connell, they're beginning to call Albert Connell Splat Albert because of the big blocks he throws. And that one obviously upset Mike O'Shea. First down and goal at the 9-yard line for the Stampeders. In the shotgun, Federic with all kinds of time, looking to the far corner. It's a jump ball in the end zone. Incomplete. Picked off by Wheaton, but he's out of touch.
We have a penalty, too. I think the left slot back, I don't know who it was, but was offsides. So the play's going to go for naught no matter what.
Federic had all kinds of time to make his decision, and by the time he released the ball.
Offside. Calgary 86. Penalties declined. 2nd down.
McGarity a little too fast on the break.
You know, with a new quarterback, sometimes as the slot backs get their running start, the cadence is a big issue. I always had a problem with that and timing up my cadence. because you want to hit the line of scrimmage going as fast as you can.
Second down and goal from the 9 of Toronto. Federick bringing his 2 backs in for extra help. This time looking to the far sideline. McDonald, the intended receiver, but the ball nowhere near him. And the fans are booing the Calgary quarterback as he heads off the field. It'll be a field goal situation for Mark McLaughlin.
It's a bit harsh to start booing him here. He did double clutch this one. He had him. He would have had to drill a really tight pass in there, and it's they're still going to get 3 points out of this, hopefully.
Marcus Crandall on the sideline. He'll begin strength rehab of his injured hamstring tomorrow, and they expect he'll be out at least 3 to 5 weeks. A tough break for him after a terrific first half in Montreal last week. Here's McLaughlin, his longest from 33. This will be a chip shot. They'll spot the ball at the 16. McLaughlin puts it up and through the uprights. And so the Stampeders pull even as the veteran McLaughlin is good on his first field goal attempt of the game. A reminder, next week on Sports Saturday, cross-country skiing Olympic medalist Becky Scott is featured on Women Warriors. We've got the canoe and kayak world championships from Germany, beach volleyball from Marseille, France. Canadians contend for triathlon World Cup honors in Newfoundland, and the highlights of the opening ceremony at the Pan Am Games from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. The Argos electing to return the kick. It's dropped by Hunden at his 18-yard line. He picks it up and breaks some tackles and makes good across the 30-yard line, but there's a flag on the play. Willie Fell celebrating the special teams tackle as the Argos held Calgary to just 3 points after that fumble recovered by Willie Fells on the last series. Jim Barker talking with his number 3 man. He's number 2 today. Scott Milanovich, brought in 3 weeks ago. The former XFL backup Barker had in his offense with the LA Extreme of the XFL. Milanovich has not had a chance to get many reps because this week they spent all of their time getting Kevin Federick ready as the rain comes down. These threatening clouds beginning to open up over McMahon Stadium. Fells, though, called for being offside on the kickoff, and they'll do it all over again. Mike Clemens, I mentioned off the top of the broadcast, trying to quell that simmering dispute between he and Jim Barker. Barker started it all the other day by saying that in reaction to the financial troubles of the Argos, that he was glad not to be part of what was going on there, that he felt badly for some people but not many others. And Pinball, in a rare public rebuke, said that Barker just didn't understand that if it weren't for Toronto and the Argonauts, he probably wouldn't be in this league. Barker, of course, was upset because he was fired after the 1999 season as head coach, and says he and his family were never really told properly. He found out he was no longer in their plans when the key to his lock at the office didn't work. But it's all behind them now, and it's all about football. In a 10-10 football game, they re-kick, and it's Hunden this time making sure at the 25. A burst of speed up the near sideline. Hunden finally dropped as he crosses the 45-yard line. Scott Dybert, the big fullback with all kinds of speed, brings him down. It's a 55-yard kickoff and a 39-yard return as Dybert makes a big special team shoestring tackle, or that was trouble.
What a huge difference in field position just for an all-sides call on a kickoff team. You don't think special teams is important. That's a difference of about 33 yards on that first kick into the second kick.
So a huge swing in field position for the Argos. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line of the Stampeders. The best field position to start a drive for Toronto this afternoon. Damon Allen looking across the middle. It's complete to Tony Miles, the speedster out of Hamilton. Short gain of 1 or 2 on the play.
Toronto and Damon have given this no running back look a lot tonight. 6 receivers all spread out. And you think of an attack deep maybe, but here he's using the short passing game kind of to compensate for the lack of a running game.
Miles has 4.4, 4.5 speed in the 40, and a lot of people think he can run his routes at that speed. He doesn't lose much on his cuts.
Tony Miles is an amazing receiver, third in the league right now in receiving.
Gain was 2. It's 2nd and 8. Allen now moving the pocket, stepping up and throwing deep downfield. James Hunden is open, but the ball is overthrown. Hunden open on the play on the deep corner route, and Davis Sanchez was the corner they were testing there. He's yet to get his first interception of this football season after 9 2 years ago in Montreal.
Yeah, it's a nice set here where they had the wide receiver move down in movement and yet come back out and run a corner route. And I thought he may have slowed up just a touch coming out of his break.
Rain coming down hard now, which will make the football slipperier, and didn't seem to bother Damon Allen on that play. But when your grip is threatened with an injury and pain, add water to the mix and it makes it even more difficult.
The water's certainly not going to help that, but you know, this isn't tennis. We play through this in football.
A 51-yard attempt for Prefontaine. His longest this year is 52. He hit from 61 in warm-ups with the wind, and he's wide. He had the distance. McGarity will run it out of the end zone, cutting upfield, beats 3 tacklers, finally tracked down from behind. Marius, the rookie, makes the tackle for Toronto. And Wayne McGarity had some speed going there. I thought we were going to see a remake of that missed field goal last week when Stokes took it back 115.
Yeah, as Barker said last week when they had to kick the long field goal, you worry about that missed field goal because you got your big guys out there protecting the field goal. Almost a remake of what Keith Stokes did last week against Calgary.
Pinball told us that last week Prefontaine was not attempting anything outside the 45 because of that quad pull. But clearly the leg is strong, just a little off the mark on that attempt from 51. First down, Federic and the Stampeders inside their own 20. They'll stay on the ground conservatively, trying to get outside to McCullough. And he's gang tackled. The ball is loose. The Argos knock it out of bounds. The ruling is it's a live ball and a first down Toronto on the turnover.
Argo football, a great field position again.
It looked like there was trouble on the handoff. The rain's coming down, the ball's slippery, and it's a big turnover for the Argos.
Yeah, it's tough to see. It looks like a good exchange on the handoff. He has it in his outside hand, protecting the ball. Was it O'Shea that gets the hit there? I'm not sure who gets the. O'Shea knocks the ball out of bounds to make sure the Argos keep possession. Heads up play by Mike O'Shea.
Noah Cantor, though, sprung the ball loose, making contact first for the Argos. But you're right, Mike O'Shea makes the at least touching it out of bounds, and it's Argo possession, the last team to touch it.
In the CFL where you don't have to jump on it and gain possession before you out of bounds, just bat it out of bounds, and that's an experienced move by Mike.
First down Argos at the